So next topic, it is socio-religious causes. Under socio-religious causes, the first point, it is interference with the social customs. So some of the social reforms introduced by the Britishers for improving the conditions of the people, like abolition of sati, introduction of the Widow Remarriage Act, opening of the Western education to girls. These kind of reforms, they were not welcomed by the Indian people. Second point, apprehension about modern innovation. Now some of the innovations which was done by the Britishers, like telegraph was there, railways was there. So telegraph, there was a rumor that the poles which was dug for the telegraphs, they will be used for hanging the Indians, or for those who will do something wrong against the Britishers. And others regarding the railway compartments, that in the railway compartments, the higher classes and the lower classes were made to sit side by side, because they wanted, due to the color differences, due to the racial discrimination, they wanted to create this difference between the Indians and the Britishers. Now the third point, it is a policy of racial discrimination. Now racial discrimination means that against the color, creed. So all these things, they were opted by the Britishers. They considered themselves superior than the Indians, and they dubbed Muslims as cruel and unfaithful, and even they insulted the Indian officers, not officers, or the people, those who were working for the British Army. So there was a lot of discrimination done between the Indians and the European people. Then there was a corruption in the administration. The policy and petty officers were corrupt. The rich got away the crime, but the common man was looted, tortured, oppressed, etc. Then oppression of the poor. Judicial system was very poor. Rich, they were getting all the benefits, whereas poor, they were always tortured, they were imprisoned. Even the cultivators, those who were cultivating indigo in their land, or those who were not able to pay the rent or land revenue, they were also treated very badly, and they were many times they were sent to the jail also, and they were tortured by the officers while collecting the revenues. Now activities of the missionary. The Britishers, no doubt, they were different from Indians in race, religion, and sentiments. In the in the 18th century, the Britishers, they had a friendly attitude towards the Indian religion, but later on their attitude, they changed, and they started getting the rents, or even the revenues on the Indian temples also, Indian religious places also, and they started interfering in the local religious and social customs, and they denounced the idol worship, and they dubbed local beliefs as ignorance. So these were the things, these were the faiths of the Indians, and Britishers, they don't liked it, and they spoke against that, which was not liked by the Indian people. Now next, it is a fear regarding Western education. The Western education which was introduced in a number of schools was not liked by the Indians. English classes were introduced in Banaras Sanskrit College also. Then there was these Pandits and Maulvis. Their attitude was not positive towards that, because they thought that they are discouraging the Islamic traditions and Hindu studies. People suspected that the aim of Western education was not to promote literature, but to encourage their children to become Christians. So the way they took the Western education was, or the introduction of the Western education was not liked by the Indian people. Next, it is a taxing religious places. Religious sentiments of the Indians were hurt when the land, they were taxed, and especially the land which belongs to the temples and the mosques, and they asked these people to pay the taxes on these lands. Then come to the law of the property. The Religious Disability Act of 1850 changed the Hindu law of property. Now what they have done, they enabled a convert from Hinduism to other religion to inherit the property of his father. That is, that if any Hindu, he will change his religion, he will be given the property of his father. He will not be denoued from the property of his father. So these were some of the social religious causes under which we have read the 9 different causes. Now next, it is a major cause, it is a economic causes. Now economic causes related to the wealth, that is money. The first point, it is a exploitation of economic resources. As you know that India it was a agriculturist land, and India was forced to export at cheaper rates raw materials like raw cotton, raw silk, which was used by the British industries, plantation products like indigo, tea. These were they were asked to sell these products at the cheaper rates. Now India was made to accept ready-made British goods either duty free or at a nominal duty rate. So whatever it will come into the Indian land from the Britishers, India they will accept, but they will not, Britishers they are not going to pay any duties or any taxes on that. Next, it is a drain of the wealth. Drain of the wealth, it means that how the money, instead of coming to Indians' hand, they were going to the hands of the Britishers. Now India was, European traders used to bring gold into India to buy Indian cotton and silk, and after the conquest of the Bengal, the British stopped getting gold into India. They began to purchase raw material for their industries in England from the surplus revenues of Bengal and profit from duty-free inland trade. Thus began the process of plundering Indian raw material, resources and wealth. Or in other way, you can say that the drain included the salaries, incomes and savings of the Englishmen, because all the expenditure was bared by the Indians. Either it was a purchase of the military goods or office establishment or interest on debits, etc., etc. Next, it is a decline of the cottage scale industry. Cottage industries and handicraft. Cottage means small scale industry. So slowly, when industries was not there, and raw material become very expensive because it was taken by the British. Whatever it was left behind, that was very costly for the artisans and handicrafts people to buy it, and therefore these artisans they stopped doing their work, and these industries they collapsed. Now next point, it is the economic decline of peasantry. Peasantry means the peasants. They were not happy with the policies of the Britishers. They were asked to pay the heavy taxes whatever they were growing, and they were not left with their for their families. So therefore these people, they were also unhappy with the various policies. Either they were adopted by the Britishers or by the merchants. They have to get the money from the merchants, and they used to give them those money on a high rate of interest. Now growing unemployment. The traditional rulers, you can say that Britishers they refused to give the higher post to the Indian people. So educated people, they were not ready to work at the lower post. Secondly, the artisans, the handicraft people, whatever earlier they were doing, and along with them on a large scale the employment was given to others also. Now they refused to they were not given the raw materials due to the high rate. So therefore they stopped buying the raw material, and after that, when they stopped buying the raw material, slowly the industries and other factories they collapsed. Now next, it is a inhuman treatment of indigo cultivators. Indigo trade was very profitable to Britishers. Britishers, they used to force the peasants to grow indigo in their land. Indigo means नील, जो हम white कपड़ों को देते हैं. Therefore, Indians, the cultivators, they refused to grow indigo on their land. Therefore, they were beaten by the Britishers. They were given a very inhuman treatment if they refused to do so. Now, the poverty and the famine, slowly, when no employment was there, people became unemployed, no work for them. They became these small industries, they declined, drain of wealth was there, exploitation of the poor was there. So the poverty increased, and due to the natural calamities like floods, like droughts, etc., and Britishers, they were not giving any importance to these things, or they were not ready to solve the problems of the Indians. So famines, they increased. Next point, it is a decline of landed aristocracy. There was a one provision, landed aristocracy. Under this, there was a Inam Commission, and by passing this Inam Commission, 20,000 estates, the landlords of these estates, they failed to produce any kind of evidence related to their land. So therefore, though they were not having any you can say records of their land, therefore they were asked to give those land to the Britishers, and later it was sold on rights. So when they sold these land, they were these people, those who were earlier the landlords, now they were left with no land. So automatically these people, they were also not happy with these provisions which were started by the Britishers.